Welcome back to the Spirit Board. So today, we're going to be starting with NintenDaan. So NintenDaan is the main protagonist of Mother, the original Mother game. Earthbound Zero, for all of us Westerners. And bafflingly, has somehow still not been added to the Smash roster, despite the fact that both of his successors have. So, to represent this legacy character, we have a battle where, if not for the stage, this shit would be really tricky. You've got 4 Nesses, they all hive mind basically. But AI doesn't know what to do if you go down to this ledge on this stage, so easy win. That is the easiest 4-star battle I think I've done yet. Here is Pseudo-Palutena. So, this is a gross facsimile of Palutena, created by the god of the forge, Dintos, in Kid Icarus Uprising. Looking at her, she seems really malicious, but she was actually just a test created by him to test Pit's capabilities, so yeah, down she goes. Here is King Knight from Shovel Knight. So King Knight is a king-themed knight, despite not actually being a king, from the Order of No Quarter in Shovel Knight. As well as being, you know, a pretty standard king-themed boss. He also stars in his own campaign, the King of Cards campaign, so yeah, he's a very, very cool dude, and he's being played here by a king, because of course he is. King K. Rool to be specific. And down he goes. Waluigi! Finally, a Waluigi spirit. So, this is the Waluigi who appears in Super Mario Strikers, the Mario football game for both GameCube and Wii. And, yeah, this was like a super hyper-violent football game and Mario sports game, which is not usually what you'd expect from a Mario sports fair, but there you go. Waluigi in particular actually had, like, plant-based abilities, if you can believe it. Like, one of his specials was to create a wall of vines, which could be used to either block the ball, block players, or just stop pursuers. So, yeah, he was actually really goddamn busted in that game. He was definitely one of my mains, so yeah. Anyway, this particular fight doesn't really exemplify that element of him. More so his, you know, his being a purple Luigi, and also footballs are here. So, pretty basic spirit battle, all things considered. Get fucked. Alright, now let's interrupt these spirit battles with a quick pop to the shops. So after every few battles I actually do check the shops here to see if anything new comes in stock. And Timmy and Tommy have F.L.U.D. from Super Mario Sunshine, which cannot be acquired anywhere else. F.L.U.D. is the Flash Liquidizer Ultra Dowsing device, and it allows Mario to spray water everywhere. And also use water to launch himself and all that good shit. Anyway, Arcanine! Fire-type Pokemon introduced in Generation 1. An incredibly good boy. A very good boy. So, playing him, we have the Duck Hunt Duo. And we also have the Fiery Ground, so yeah, you can only visit certain parts of the stages unless you have fire resistance, which I currently do not, weirdly. So, let's kick him in the face with Primal Groudon, why don't I? Just need to land... Fuck! Just need to land one more blow. One more heavy blow. Oh, fucker! There we go. Wow. Somehow survived that. I'm going to chalk that up to the giant size. He's a very big boy, as well as a very good boy. However, I don't think he's going to take too well to that. There we go. Got him. Alright, another Generation 1 Pokemon. Weird trend. So, here is Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan is a normal type Pokemon. It is a mother who wields her child in her pouch. And when she Mega Evolves into Mega Kangaskhan, she becomes broken because she fights alongside said child, which means you have 2 Pokemon out at once. And when I say broken, that isn't just like a personal opinion. she had to be nerfed from Pokemon Sun and Moon onwards. Like, she was way too powerful and would even drop, like, legendaries effortlessly. So, yeah. But anyway, as a Pokemon, Kangaskhan does have an interesting history. Aside from being one of the first Pokemon created, Kangaskhan is basically a reimagining of Marowak's original evolution, Guardia. Anyway, deep Pokemon lore aside, there goes the battle. And next up is Inuji Darumeshi. So, here's an interesting one. This is the mascot of a freemium baseball game, released solely for the Nintendo 3DS. However, when it was released in Western areas, well, when you look at it, it kind of looks like a little bit like a racist Japanese stereotype. So it was actually changed into a more westernized character named Rusty Slugger, who also appears in Smash as a spirit. So, yeah, we're going to end up getting both of the baseball doggos. Over here, it was called Rusty's Real Deal Baseball, which, yeah, cool name. I can dig it. I'm not really one for baseball myself, but I hear that the game has a bit of a cult following. Here is Raven. Raven is a mercenary from Fire Emblem The Blazing Blades. And usually, the characters who start off evil, well, on the other side, and then you have to recruit them, are Myrmidons. But Raven is actually a mercenary who fits that trope. So, yeah, he's a little mix of Fire Emblem tropes, all in one dude. And he doesn't like being punched in the face. Here is Flare. So Flare is one of the aerial beauty robos, appearing in Custom Robo, primarily used by the character Karen. So being a, you know, flying robo with, you know, very clear feminine traits, we have a Samus, who is a woman wearing what is basically a big robot suit. And also a jetpack to signify the flying capabilities, and the laser gun to signify the Robo's lasers. Anyway, this isn't too tricky of a battle, just need to get a few clean hits. And having dropped Sagat off at the gym to boost his land style to make him more powerful on the grounds, he can do some ridiculous damage. Like, woof. Goddamn. Here is the Arcade Bunny, another 3DS character, the host of the Nintendo Badge Arcade for the 3DS. So, this was a very eccentric character who would serve as the mascot of the Badge Arcade, which was basically a feature on your 3DS that allowed you to unlock and find badges. There wasn't really much more to it than that. It was arguably the closest thing Nintendo's ever had to, like, an achievement system? Albeit just for your Nintendo 3DS, so yeah. Anyway, this battle's quite simple. We've got Isabelle playing the bunny, hence the bunny ears that she's wearing. That's adorable. And also her formal wear very much ties in with the Arcade Bunny's suit. Here's the Hungry Luma. Hungry Lumas appear in Super Mario Galaxy, on the Comet Observatory, as well as in a couple of stages. When you encounter them, they basically plea for you to feed them bits, and if you feed them enough bits, they fly into the sky, or into space, explode, and create a new galaxy. They live and die only to eat, so yeah, playing the Hungry Luma, we have Kirby, who is basically a force of eternal hunger, being able to inhale anything. And Rosalina, the mother of all Lumas. Ditto! Ditto is a Generation 1 Pokemon. Holy shit, third one. And, yeah, Ditto's whole gimmick is that it can transform into any other Pokemon. Now, why it is being played by the Dark Kirby as opposed to, you know, just normal-ass Kirby, I'm not too sure. I think normal Kirby would have fitted better, but maybe it's so you can tell it apart from the actual Ditto that spawned in and is parroting Kirby right now. Anyway, the fact that he's being played by Kirby is doubly clever, because Kirby's ability, aside from inhaling, is to copy your abilities and steal your attributes, which is literally how Ditto operates. That's why that Kirby is trying to throw aura spheres at me. How dare you? That's my move. Get out of it. I'm gonna kick you in the face. And should the opportunity arise, I can land a good finishing blow. And finishing blow. God damn it, Lucario's hard to kill with at low percents. But that'll definitely help. Yep, make me more powerful. That's exactly what I need right now. Finishing blow! There we are. This is Swordman. Swordman is one of the robot masters from Mega Man 8. And he wields an ancient sword. No joke, he's literally like a museum operator whose job is to look after that sword. And after he is corrupted by Wily, he becomes a powerful sword-based enemy. So, yeah, we have a shitload of Mega Men here, all of them spamming their sword attack, their forward sword attack. Which would be all well and good, except it's quite easy to dodge that, since it's an aerial move. And, Sagat likes to fight on the grounds. Boom. And here is the Windfish. The Windfish is a great and powerful being found in the Zelda series. And in its dreams, it is able to create Koholint Island, where Link finds himself stranded in Link's Awakening. The whole purpose of that game is to wake up the Windfish with the Windfish's ballads. Hence why we have a Jigglypuff, a singing character, to represent. And wow, that was the easiest 4-star. Anyway, here is Rattly. Rattly is one of the animal friends from Donkey Kong Country. He bounces around like a spring, hence his little springy tail. And it is established within Donkey Kong lore, and yes, Donkey Kong lore is a thing, that he is actually an enemy of the Kremlings, what with him being reptilian in nature, but being on Donkey Kong's side. So hell yeah. That's our good defective Kremling friend right there. And being played by Yoshi, who himself is reptilian. And let's give him a nice strong hit with Captain Rainbow as soon as I get the chance. Just need to line it up. There it is. Y'all ain't surviving that. Alright, so those are all the normal spirits for this episode. However, it's time for a bit more DLC. So we're now going to hop onto the Dragon Quest spirit boards. And since I haven't played any Dragon Quest, kzinssie is going to be joining us for this one. The first spirit we're going to battle is the first one we started the LP with. So kzinssie, can you tell me about the slimes?
So, yeah, slimes are pretty straightforward and simple. They're sort of the basic monster in Dragon Quest. They don't pose much of a challenge. They're, they're basically there to teach you the battle system if you haven't played an RPG before, and to sort of get you into the swing of things. You usually find them outside the first town or in the tutorial fight. And there's a lot of them spawning in, and once you've defeated them, a giant one should be showing up here in a moment. Yes.
And that is the King Slime. I believe we've already gotten the spirit for that, so yeah.
Yes. Nice. The way the King Slime works in the original games is that sometimes later in the game you'll get into a battle with a bunch of basic slimes, and they'll merge together into a much more powerful King Slime.
Ah, and that's when you realise, oh no, the game isn't... it's taking the kids' gloves off. It's actually challenging me now.
Yes.
Cool. So next up we have Draki here, who is being played by a Meta Knight.
3 Meta Knights, actually.
3 Meta Knights.
Yeah, Draki's also debuted in the original Dragon Quest. They're sort of the next tier up from slimes. Rather than finding them outside the first town, you usually find them in the first dungeon, which is why they're being fought on Dracula's castle. And the 3 Meta Knights here, well, first of all, they have sort of an evasive hit-and-run playstyle, because they have higher than normal evasion.
Yeah.
In addition to that, there's 3 of them here that represent, in addition to the regular black Draki, there's the red Dracolite and green Drakmage. And the Drakmage knows the spell Kasap, which reduces the pony's defense, which is why your defense is lowered.
Oh, that's a really clever detail.
Yes,
I
didn't think much of this until I started, researching the fight, and I was like, oh, that's cute.
Shit, that's clever, yeah. There's a lot of spirit battles in this game that have that revelation, so... This next battle is against the Golem, who...
This one wasn't a revelation. It's pretty obvious if you've played the original Dragon Quest, where this debuted as one of the 4 bosses of that game.
Ah, okay.
The gimmick of it is that it's a very strong enemy, much stronger than you can reasonably take on at the level the game expects you to. It does more damage than you can, out-heal. But if you find the item, the Fairy Flute, you can use that to put it to sleep for several turns. Which is why...
And that is why in this battle, this Rob, when things seem pretty rough, is just going to go the F to sleep.
Yeah,
cool.
And give you a few turns to just wail on it. The choice of stage is because the Golem is made out of brick, like the bricks on this stage, which is kind of cute.
Oh, yeah. And that was just the most satisfying final hit I've ever had in this LP.
So this next one, I'm going to start in advance because there's a lot going on.
Go on.
Oh, wait, no. I skipped ahead. Okay, never mind. This is the Liquid Metal Slime.
I haven't played Dragon Quest, and from this fucker of a mission, I already get its gimmick. I get what a Metal Slime is about. Fuck the Metal Slimes.
Yes, the Liquid Metal Slime is the second tier of the Metal Slime line, along with the Metal Slime and the King Metal Slime. It's, it only has a few hit points, but it's incredibly evasive. Has incredibly...
You don't say!
Yes, has incredibly high defense, so you can only do 1 hit point of damage at a time. And it runs away if you take too long to defeat it, which is why this battle's on a timer.
Yeah, I hate this battle. This battle is the fucking worst. It took me 20 attempts.
On the other hand, if you do manage to defeat a Metal Slime line, it gives you, a ton of experience, guaranteed level up if you can kill one.
Oh, shit,
so it's worth seeking out.
Well, in this case, it gave me a high movement spirit, which I would argue is not worth it. Here's the Saber Cup. You had a lot to say on this one.
So, the Great Saber Cup debuted in Dragon Quest V, which is my favorite Dragon Quest. It's a monster that you actually recruit early on in the game. You save it from monsters and it joins you. Which is part of how in that game you can catch and train monsters. And these are Pokemon because that was one of the main inspirations for the Pokemon series.
Cool.
The Pikachu here represents the Great Saber Cat, which is the sort of the grown-up version, yeah. I do have 2 objections to this fight, though. First of all, there's an Incineroar skin that looks just like the Great Saber Cat.
Which would have worked better, yeah.
And also, the Dragon Quest V hero, who's known for, taming and recruiting one, is in this game as a skin for hero. One of the palette swaps.
And should have been in the battle.
Yeah, it should have.
Yeah. Okay, fair.
So, next is Cetacea. I should confess, I've only played the demo of Dragon Quest XI, so I haven't actually seen this in the game itself.
Right,
but
yeah. Okay.
I have researched it, and I know enough about the series to sort of get it. So, Cetacea is a giant whale. It's an ancient spirit that is bound to the service of the Luminary, which the hero of Dragon Quest XI is a incarnation of.
Hence why he's the rep here in the battle. Yep.
Yes. And it's the airship in Final Fantasy terms. You get it and you can ride it around the world. Dragon Quest does tend to have, air travel, but it tends to be more, more unique than just an airship.
Okay.
Yeah, and it tends to be, in some games you ride a hot air balloon, in some of them you ride a dragon or a phoenix. There's one where you ride a flying bed in Dragon Quest VI, which is pretty cool.
That's really cool, yeah.
So here we have a giant white K-Rool, who's the closest thing to a whale, who likes to stay in the air.
Yeah, I would not have won that battle if the AI hadn't just, given up for a bit, which it clearly did, so I'm not going to look that gift horse in the mouth there.
Alright, so...
This next one, the Hero's Comrades.
Hero's Comrades, or Hero's Companions in the English version, or in the American version, that's a weird change, actually. This represents this is the party from Dragon Quest XI. Various party members. Again, I've only played the demo, so I don't know all of these from playing the game, but they're pretty straightforward with research, and a lot of Dragon Quest party members are kind of archetypes anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
So the first one here, once it loads, is Link representing Eric, the thief. He joins your party very early on. You find him in the castle prison. He is represented by Link primarily because, as you can see here, he likes to use his side special, the boomerang. And that's one of Eric's and Dragon Quest Thieves' in general main weapons. In Dragon Quest, boomerangs hit the entire enemy party.
Oh,
Next
sweet.
we have
Nice.
Zelda, a green Zelda, and a tiny red Robin, which represent the mage sisters, Serena and Veronica. Serena's a healer, represented here by Zelda, who...
She will heal after so long as well, yeah.
Yes. Veronica is the the black mage.
Yes,
And she's tiny because in the game she is afflicted by a curse that makes her take the form of a child. And to Dragon Quest XI's credit, it's never creepy about that.
I'm glad, because I was just about to say, I'm sure that goes well.
So here's where we get to the party members I haven't seen because they aren't in the demo. This is Silvano. He is a dancer who wields a sword, represented by She, who has a fairly agile fighting style. If I may conspiracy theorize a little bit about this choice.
Please do. Yeah, yeah.
Silvano is sort of known for being sort of a flamboyant, effeminate character. So I suspect Sheik might have been chosen as, you know, sort of a character with an ambiguous gender, his or herself.
That's radical. No, that's a cool way of representing that element, so... Nice one. Anyway, this, kind of like the Persona battle, this whole battle is a massive war of attrition because you've got so many enemies to go through.
Yeah,
and you've only got
it
one
took me
pool
a
of health
couple
to do it with.
tries to get through this one.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I also used auto heal.
It's the only way.
Next we have Zero Suit Samus, who represents Jade, the martial artist. It's pretty straightforward. She's a, agile kick-based martial artist, so...
Yeah, yeah. I've actually seen a short clip of Jade, and it was, there's a part where you're requested to do a mission to, like, save a child or something like that, and you can decline, and if you decline, she goes to kick you in the head and falls just short of hitting you, and then goes, oh, my leg slipped. What was that you just said? And forces you to do the mission, which I approve of that. I love that.
So the DDD, meanwhile, represents Rab, who's sort of, Jade's traveling companion. He's a little fat old man who wields a staff, which is why it's a tiny DDD with a staff.
Aw, cute.
Again, since I haven't gotten to the point where he is, I don't really know a whole lot about him. So the final one here is Ike, representing Hindwick. Hindwick is a knight of... I don't remember the name of the kingdom, but he's initially sent to seek out and kill the hero until he learns that the hero isn't evil like he'd been led to believe. And he joins
Kind of given
you.
away by his name being Hero, really, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, you get to name the hero in Dragon Quest. So.
Okay. Fair play.
Yeah. It's like Pokemon Trainer Hero's a title.
Right.
And the Ike is pretty straightforward. He's just like a Black Knight. I will say, I wish there were more spirit battles like this for the other Dragon Quest parties. Like, Dragon Quest IV in particular has a really cool supporting cast, and I would have liked to see it represented like this, but oh well.
It's, I think the spirit battles they've got for now they're okay, even though it only kind of spans one page, and other spirit battles have more than one page. What I will say, though, is that they did actually add one in post, which we are just about to go on to.
When this was initially added, you just got it for free if you had save data for Dragon Quest XI's or the demo. And
right.
Yeah, and then they added it to the spirit board. So that's going to be coming up here after you get the 10,000 gold.
Yeah. Obviously, you get... this was recorded way later. This clip here was recorded after the 4th DLC dropped.
So these are the Tockles. Tockles are spirits in Dragon Quest XI.
Fitting.
In the original release of the game on PS4, they were just sort of mysterious figures. I don't even think they're named in the original release. But they're just little, little guys who will appear and disappear. They'll fade in and out of existence and lead you to treasure, which I think is why they're a bunch of Game & Watches holding different items, who obviously turn invisible over time and go back.
Those are the different treasures and their ethereal nature.
I think. I'm not sure about that. In the 3DS version, which was only released in Japan, and the Switch version, however, they're a little bit more expanded on. And they're named the Tockles, and they're revealed to be the Guardians of the Flow of Time. And the way that's used is you actually go to their hidden village, and they take you to the worlds of previous Dragon Quest games. And you do, little side missions.
Yes.
You do little side missions where you, go back to those worlds and help out the characters there. Which isn't really represented here, but it is a cute little detail.
I think there's only so many things you can represent at once in one battle, given what you're working with.
This battle, by the way, is also kind of a nightmare. It took me several tries to beat it. Especially because I was trying to beat it with Tilly, who was the new character at the time. And Tilly's really not built for taking on, a bunch of enemies like this.
Definitely not, yeah, no. I will say, I found this one not too bad, but only because, I'm quite good against Game & Watches. Yeah, I have a lot of practice fighting Game & Watches, so yeah.
Alright.
That's not a challenge to you, by the way, because I know that you do use Game & Watch and you're good with Game & Watch.
I'm okay with him. I've sort of moved away from him recently, but...
Fair play. Well, that is all of the Dragon Quest spirits, so far anyway. We don't know if they're going to throw more in. It'd be cool if they did. We'll definitely revisit if they do, so... to round out this episode, we've got just one more lot of summoning to do, so let's head over to the summoning page, and let's put together the Poltergust and the F.L.U.D. to create their inventor, Professor Egad from Luigi's Mansion. Here we are. And after that we have just one more spirit. This one is a Pokemon-based spirit. And this one is the Pokemon Diancie. There we are, leveled up my normal Diancie to get the Mega Form, which allows you to reflect projectiles, holy shit. Also, the Saber Cat.
Its physical attack up, just because the Great Saber Cat is a physically aligned enemy.
Nice.